Hi, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. And I am proud to present to you with a brand new deck profile, starting with a new structure deck that came out about a month ago. This is the Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profile, and let's get straight into it. So, we're going to start off with 3 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's pretty straightforward, right? You're going to need that for sure. Then we have 3 copies of Maiden of White. This card needs to be at 3 because she's going to be able to give you True Light directly from your deck by sending her to the graveyard. Not only that, if you special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. Also, when a card or effect is activated that targets this card on the field, or when this card is targeted for an attack, you can special summon one Blue Eyes White Dragon or one level 1 Light Tuner from your graveyard. So this is why we need to have it at 3 for sure. Then we have another very important card, which is the Sage of the Eyes of Blue. So for those who don't know, this Sage will add you any level 1 Light Tuner from your deck to your hand, except Sage. That's fine because we're going to usually add either a Maiden White, a Effect Veiler, or a Master of Eyes of Blue-ray. And he's also a tuner as well, so he's a level 1. 3 copies of him for sure. Then we only have 1 copy of Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, 1 copy of Dragon Spirit of White. And let's move on to the hand traps. For the hand traps, we have 3 copies of Ash Blossom. This card has been around for a while now, and is pretty much a staple in most decks nowadays. In order to stop certain plays, you're going to be able to negate from the hand. We also have 3 copies of Effect Veiler to, again, more hand traps to stop your opponent's monster effects. You're going to need that at 3. We only have 1 copy of Master of Eyes of Blue. You can, when this card is special summoned, normal summoned actually, then you can return a Sage, any level 1 Light Tuner from your graveyard. So it can be a Sage, Maiden, whatever you need back. One copy of Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon. So this guy does, if you're able to special summon him, you can add a ritual spell or a polymerization from your deck to your hand. So usually what you want to do is add chaos form. Now keep in mind that this is a chaos build with the rituals, and I will tell you why later on. And this brings us to our next card, which is the Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. So you can run 1 or 2. More than 2 is too much. I usually run them at 1. Being able to just attack your defense position monsters, your opponent's monsters, and inflict double piercing battle damage is actually insane, and can possibly get you a victory, right? Same thing with this ritual. It's a Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon. He's able to, he can be targeted by card effects, he can be destroyed by card effects. And if you ritual summon him using Blue Eyes White Dragon, at the moment he declares an attack, you can change the battle positions of as many monsters your opponent controls as possible and make their defense 0. And on top of that, he's able to also inflict piercing battle damage. moving on to the spells, we have 3 copies of Wishes of Eyes of Blue. It's one of the new cards from the structure deck. So for those who don't know what it does, you can discard a card and add 1 level 1 light tuner and 1 spell trap that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand, except Wishes. You can also banish this card from the graveyard to target a Blue Eyes White Dragon and equip 1 Blue Eyes monster from your extra deck as an equip spell. You usually want to equip cards like Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Blue Eyes Neo Ultimate Dragon to make one of the greatest plays, and I will show you guys in a second how that is done. One Call by the Grave, 1 Mausoleum of White, and 1 copy of Ultimate Fusion to be able to fusion summon. We have 2 copies of the Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons to be able to special summon from your deck or graveyard any Blue Eyes White Dragon, and being also able to banish the card from the graveyard to special summon a fusion monster from your extra deck. Usually it doesn't happen too often, but it can still be useful. You want to mainly use this only for the first effect to be able to bring back a Blue Eyes. Two copies of Melody of the Awakening Dragon. This can be debatable. I usually run them at 2 because I need to have the rituals or any Blue Eyes as quickly as possible, and that's pretty much why you need them at 2. You can even run them at 3. At 1 is just too little. You definitely need to have them at least at 2. Then we also have 2 copies of Bingo Machine Go. Bingo Machine Go is actually an amazing card that can get you any Blue Eyes monster. You reveal 3 cards from your deck that meets each at least one of the criteria, and it can be either a Blue Eyes monster or a spell and trap that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon in the name, in the text description, and your opponent must randomly pick 1 card face down. So you usually want to go for the Chaos Forms, your rituals, pretty much any piece that you need in order to be able to make the play. And of course 2 copies of Chaos Form, which is pretty much how you ritual summon Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon or Blue Eyes Chaos Mag Dragon, right? Either one. That you have to banish a Blue Eyes from your graveyard or tribute from your hand or field. And that's actually going to be pretty easy considering that you have searchers like Bingo Machine Go. And we also have, as a must, 3 copies of Impermanence, Infinite Impermanence. Don't need to say much about this trap card. It's been also out for some time now. Being able to just cancel and negate your opponent's monster effects from your hand is insane. One copy of Majesty of the White Dragons. Being able to destroy cards without targeting, equal to a number of Blue Eyes in your monster zone graveyard, is pretty good. You can also banish this card from your graveyard to ritual summon 1 ritual monster from your hand by attributing Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or field, whose total levels equal its level. So yeah, I think run's good. You really don't need them at 2 or 3. I think it's just too much. You can run them at 2 at most, but not 3. Last card we'll need is True Light, of course, and the best trap in the deck. True Light being able to just bring any spell trap with Blue Eyes in the text, or special summon the Blue Eyes from from your hand or graveyard. And also your opponent cannot target Blue Eyes White Dragon in your monster zones with card effects. The only downfall is if they destroy the True Light, then you have to destroy all monsters on your field. That's the only drawback, which is why we only run them at 1. That's pretty much it for the deck profile, for the main deck at least. Now we're gonna move on to the extra deck. For the extra deck, we have 3 copies of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, Being able to just tribute him to summon your ultimate dragon is insane. And he also negates monster effects in the graveyard. Not only monster effects, any card or effect. It's if a card and effect in the graveyard is activated, you can negate the activation. 2 copies of Azure Eyes Silver Dragon is another classic. Being able to just special summon on your standby phase any normal monster is pretty good. And being able to protect your dragons for at least 1 turn from destruction is also amazing. To protect it. Pretty much anything, right? Considering the entire deck is dragon based. And of course, 2 cards, copies of Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, another of the new cards from the deck. This Spirit Dragon is pretty good as well, being able to negate any card effect once per turn with his quick effect and make him gain 1000 attack. Also, your opponent cannot banish cards from the graveyard, so you're going to be able to block anything that activates in the graveyard. And if he happens to be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 light dragon monster from your graveyard, except himself, but it doesn't matter because usually you want to bring back either the Azure Eyes or the Spirit Dragon, right? Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. Then for the links, we have 2 copies of Spirit of Eyes of Blue. Being able to just bring your field spell, your Mazulum, directly from your deck to your hand is insane. And also targeting him. So the combo is pretty much where you use the field spell, right? You use the field spell to target the link and send the Blue Eyes from your deck to your graveyard, and then tribute the link to bring back that Blue Eyes that you sent. Is pretty much why we need it. And then we also have Tyrant Dragon, Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. He has 3400 attack. He's unaffected by trap cards or effects of trap cards. He can attack your monsters your opponent controls once each. Once per turn, at the end of the damage step, if this card battle, you can target 1 trap card in your graveyard. 1 copy of Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon for the Magia play, which I'm going to show you right now. 1 copy of Indigo. It's just an amazing negate. Can't attack directly, but if you detach 1 material from this card, you can target 1 normal monster in your graveyard or banish zone and special summon it, and it gains 1000 attack. 1 copy of Hieratic Seal, Heavenly Spheres. Being able to link summon him using 2 dragon monsters is pretty simple. Being able to tribute a monster from your hand or field to return a face-up card in the field as well is pretty good. Last thing, Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Won't use him as much, but he might still come up every now and then. He's also pretty good because at the end of the damage step, if this is the only card you control, you can send 1 Blue Eyes Fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, and this card can attack again. So 4500, being able to attack twice, pretty good. And now for the best card in the entire deck, Dragon Master Magia. Dragon Master Magia, I think a lot of people are not able to buy it yet, but it's about to come out as a reprint pretty soon, so that's pretty affordable now. Hopefully it is cheaper, and being able to just have 3 negates is actually extremely powerful. Being able to negate a monster effect, spell, and trap card effect once per turn each is actually pretty insane. And on top of that, he has 5000 attack. If he happens to leave the field because of an opponent's card, you can special summon 1 Blue Eyes monster or 1 Chaos monster from your deck or graveyard. So that's pretty much the deck profile. So ideally you just want to have the ritual spell card, a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Now you can pretty much use the wishes of Isa Blue, right? And let's say you already have a blue eyes, so you can banish this from the graveyard, target the blue eyes that's on your field, and you can equip the ultimate dragon. And usually you're gonna have a maiden as well, because you're gonna revive blue eyes from your graveyard, most likely from the because of the link, right? And you have already maiden there. So here's what you can do. So you can either tribute them to go for a synchro, and ultimate will be in the graveyard, or you can tribute them to bring Tyrant Dragon as well. So those are two plays you can make. And this guy, you can either summon him with Chaos Form, or you can summon him directly. If you have him in your hand, you can also use him as well. He can either be in your hand or on the field as well with Chaos Form. And the final piece to summon Magia would be, of course, Ultimate Fusion, right? And how do you bring Ultimate Fusion? With True Light. True Light is going to be able to bring any spell trap card with blue eyes in the text, right? Or if you don't have True Light, you can use the bingo machine as well, right? The bingo machine, but just won't be as quick. So yeah, there's many plays you can make to bring Magia out. And that's pretty much the profile. Okay, let me know what you guys think. What plays we can make, what changes we can make to this deck to make it better, to make it a little bit faster. I think there are some other cards that we can add as well. And let me know in the comments what cards you would add to the deck to make it faster as well. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you stayed this long, you can also subscribe and like the video. Thank you so much for watching the video.